On a small land, you can turn every poultry business work positive. When you look at this poultry farm, it is impressive and admirable, but I didn't start from where you're seeing. I started with 500 chicken. I had to take care of the chicken as well as take care of my little children that were still young. So I was working through stress, depression, but I reached a point of quitting this business. But I told myself, if I quit, what am I gonna do? I kept on working. That is why you're seeing that the farm has grown. The farm is still moving forward. So just know that in most cases, success comes from the hardest time that we face. If you work hard, you face the hardest moments, your success is coming. Don't quit yet. If you want to start poultry farming, just know that you might fall into this business, but you don't like it, but it might become the most important and profitable business that you've never done. Some people ask me that, all comment that, Becky, you're carrying a lot of feeds, you're doing too much. I'm not complaining, but yes, the truth is I work. But let me tell you this, when I started, I was doing almost each and everything. I was removing the chicken manure by myself. I was mixing the chicken feeds. But so far, I employ some people to help me remove the manure, do some work, and I do the simple work like feeding the chicken, giving them the drinking water, collecting the eggs. But to be true to you, hard work pays. If I didn't face the hardest time in the beginning, I wouldn't have achieved this success. I'm not the richest person, but I think that through hard work, I've been paid. So if you're starting this poultry business and you want to get a successful business in just a short period of time, just know your hands-on will help your business grow. I'm not saying that you should do everything that I'm doing right now, that carry feeds, do what. You can employ some people to help, but just know in the beginning, if you do the work for yourself, if you learn and you start to apply your energy on your farm, raising your chicken by yourself, you get that experience, let alone you start to employ other people, you learn that this kind of business is tiresome, and this person that I've employed, I can pay him or her this amount of money because of the experience that you got after doing your own work. This season is a season of low egg production or decrease in egg production, decrease in the prices of eggs, also an increase in the cost of feeds, plus the decrease in the consumption of feeds by the chicken. If you're going through that situation in this period, just know that your chicken need treatment. They need to a clean environment. If you have old beddings, remove them. You apply new beddings so that they can warm this chicken at night and remove the coldness that causes stress to this chicken. Even the steam that comes out of that manure accumulates in the evening, avoids this chicken from laying, causes stress. If they are laying tiny eggs without shape, the shapeless eggs, weaker eggs, just know that they have respiratory diseases that they have to be treated. The chicken need few things to survive: treatment, vaccines, quality feeds, and a conducive environment. If you give them those few things, they will live for you until the time of selling them. If you're going through those moments, just know you're not alone. A lot of farmers are going through this situation, and some of the farmers that I've talked to, some chicken are dying because of diseases, but those respiratory diseases have to be treated. The chicken will recover and lay again, even if they have laid for more than 9 months. they can increase their egg production. For the egg prices, you have to wait because we cannot control the market as farmers, but the eggs also increase and decrease as the market demand changes. The egg prices increase, also decrease. The same applies to the feed cost. The feed cost will decrease sometime. What you have to do is to keep your chicken laying, make them healthy, they will lay. If they reduce the consumption of feeds, automatically they cannot lay enough eggs. So make sure that you treat, vaccinate. If you've spent some good time without vaccinating, deworm after removing the old beddings. Just know, in most cases, success comes the hardest way, and the only way to make money from poultry is to make your hands work, especially in the beginning. Let me tell you the truth, people are lazy. If you employ some people without your experience, they will do your work in a zigzagger form. For me, I've ever employed some people, and even now I'm still employing people to help me remove the manure, mix up the chicken feeds, some small work. But you might ask someone to help, and you tell that person that, I have some work, I'm going to pay you 10k or 10,000 shilling, and that person tells you that, you know what, your work is tiresome. You find that right person the next day and tells you that, I've not eaten for 2 I'm hungry, please give me some 2k, I want to buy a Rolex. So people are lazy. So if you're the owner, you're beginning this poultry business, just know you have to first get the experience, do the work for yourself first, then think about employing people later, after knowing how tiresome this business is. Because even if you have automated systems, even if you have drinkers or feeders that are automated, you have to install or refill those drinkers every day. Guys, I'm powering chicken manure on the chicken feeds, on the goats feeds goat feeds, because in the long run I want to increase on the number of goats, so I have to be with their feeds so that I don't get stressed with their what they have to eat. Also, you have to collect the eggs manually. So even if you're going to employ people and you have automated systems, you have to know that the eggs will be collected manually, the feeds will be refilled also using those same people. So just know that poultry work, you have to remove the litter. Yeah, poultry work is somehow tiresome, however much it is paying. And I ask myself sometimes that if I don't do the work by myself, then who will do it the right way as I want? I'm not saying that you should do what I do, because for me, I can plant my own maize. I can do the feeding, the refilling of drinkers every evening. Guys, I grew my maize from the seed. I ate the fruit, and I grew my mango from the seed. And now I'm going to harvest. So hard work pays. Also patience pays, because it has been years of watering, applying manure, but now I'm going to harvest. I love the work of my hands. So in most cases, if you do the work with love, you cannot get stressed. I'm not saying that do what I do. If you can employ someone to help, do it. If you cannot, make sure that at least you can engage in your work so that you can harvest what you want. I planted my beans. I'm a mother, and I want to always plant, grow food at home, and I always do it. I'm removing these wood cuttings that separate the lower floor of the chicken house from the upper floor. So we use the poles. So on top of the poles, we lay on the wood cuttings that is used to separate the lower floor from the upper floor on the chicken house. They are cheap compared to any other materials that you can use. So guys, if you're going through any hard time in poultry, comment down below. I can help if you want some help. If you're going through some hardships, please comment. I'll answer you. Thank you so much for watching. Let's meet in the next one. I love you all. Thanks for the support.